Welcome back to the Rooted Lifestyle Podcast. We are your hosts, Camryn and Justus Woods.
Welcome back, everyone, and happy 30th episode.
Yes, this is our 30th episode, which is insane. And it's also
your birthday.
My birthday.
Well, when this episode drops, it will be your birthday.
So
but
it's
yes,
technically my birthday.
Happy birthday, Camryn.
I don't turn 30. That'd be kind of cool if it was like the 30th. 30th episode on my 30th birthday, but we're not that cool, I guess.
Yeah, we're youngins.
Yeah.
So she's turning 24.
Okay, expose my age.
Little baby.
I am a little baby, but that's not at all what the topic of this podcast episode is.
It's all about Camryn's birthday and what we're going to do for her birthday and how you can celebrate Camryn on her birthday.
Just incredible and how everyone wants to celebrate me. No, I'm just kidding. That's a lie. So
it's not a lie.
Different. Thanks, babe. So today what we're going to be talking about on this podcast episode revolves around a question that we've been getting asked a lot lately. So people have seen us on social media. People want to make plans with us. We want to hang out with people. We obviously have jobs and working out is important to us. Basically everything we do in our lives, everyone is like, how do you balance it and how do you prioritize the things that you want to do?
Yeah, especially we've gotten that question a lot just because a lot of our friends aren't married too. So they're like, you guys are married and you're still able to do all this stuff. How do you spend time with each other and do all this? Because people think that, once you get married, it's like you're kind of locked down. You don't really have any other hobbies and things outside of it. But so we're going to dedicate this episode to kind of going through a little bit of how we manage those things that we feel like are important to us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So the question that we're going to answer, how do I make time to do the things I need to do, things I should do, and things I want to do? So we kind of went ahead and categorized everything that we need, should, and want to do. Yeah. And we're just going to tell you guys kind of how we manage that time and how we just make it work. Yeah, no, and maybe this is an exercise that you could do on your own of looking through your life and kind of writing down, like we took the time to write down, okay, what are the things in our life that we need to do? And we're going to explain what those are and kind of how they apply to each of us and both of us together. What are the things that we should do? And then what are the things that we want to do or we would like to do? Basically, I would say, I think just to start off, you should plan your day around your needs so that you can make time for your shoulds and ultimately get to your wants or likes to do. For sure. And that's just kind of a higher level way of kind of saying that you need to be able to prioritize the important things, the non-negotiables, to be able to make time for other things in your life as well. Yeah, like needs, definitely number one. Most important. So we can get started kind of, breaking down these three categories. We can start with needs. So those things for us are the things that, that you would ultimately need to do, like your job, like basically things that you need to do that if you didn't do it, you'd get fired or you would die, or like basically non-negotiables. Yeah, things like non-negotiable. So for us, it's work. We need to work in order to like afford our rent for our apartment and live. Yeah. Sleep is another one. You need sleep. And this is kind of a, not controversial, but it can vary a little bit between like how much sleep you actually need versus that you should get. So we're going to go into that a little bit. Quiet time, spending time with the Lord in the morning, that we've put that in needs for us just because it's a non-negotiable for us, and we can go into that in a little bit of detail later on. And then obviously everyone needs to eat, so food, but it's kind of similar to sleep, where you have to put it in the category of what, everyone needs to eat, but like what should you eat? So we're going to go into details about that. Yeah. But anything else before I start? No, that's perfect. I think get on with your needs and how you make them
get on with my needs. Yeah. So on the weekdays, this is kind of how I lay out my schedule. So work is anywhere between typically like a 9 to 9:30 a.m. start, and then typically around 10 p.m. is when I would say like an average of when I finish work, give or take. So that's majority of the hours of the day that are already gone. So, and I know that I need sleep, so I try to go to bed as early as I can after work. So, that basically leaves me with probably 4 hours. So like a 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. are kind of ultimately like uninterrupted time just to myself or prioritizing those other needs, wants, etc. Typically, sometimes I get done a little bit earlier, or I can like take a little bit of a break at the end of the day from work. So I would say in any given time, I would probably have about 4 or 5 to 6 hours of like should and want time during the day. In a given day. Because obviously work and then sleep. And then, as I'd mentioned before, we prioritize our quiet time or spending time with God, because we believe, just like you need sleep for your body, you need to spend time in the Word of God for just like your soul. And it'll set you up for the day. And that's something that I've started to do, is like prioritize. That's a need to do in the morning in order to change my perspective, change my heart posture towards what God really wants for me for that day, and making sure that I'm in the right mindset and having him involved in my day-to-day life. So kind of just starting that off in the beginning, that's a non-negotiable for both of us. So when you add up, sleep, quiet time, and work, that's only about 5 hours in the day that I have to kind of split between everything else. No, the needs. So all my needs are work, the needs are sleep, and then the needs are quiet time. So if you take all that into account, I only have about five or so hours of a day left for my shoulds and my wants.
I see. I got confused. I think I spaced out for a second.
No, you're good.
But
she's a little tired today, guys, because we ran 5 miles.
I know. And sometimes I feel so good after 5 miles, and then other times I really don't. So today, literally all day, I've been like dragging, but that's fine. It's fine. It's my birthday, so I shouldn't be dragging. No, that was very well said. And it's funny because our needs are the same, like you said, but they're very different. So like Justus's job, very demanding, very, very demanding. I mean, I think the most I work in a day is 5 hours on Tuesday, Thursdays, because I'm doing like management front desk stuff at a studio. But on Tuesday, Thursdays, like I don't teach any classes. So I teach Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes I teach 2 classes, but nonetheless, on average, I work 2 hours a day during the week, like on average. Yeah. And so obviously I have a lot more time to do the needs, shoulds, and wants, which is really nice. And I'm blessed to be able to do that. Thankfully, I am not forced to do a 9 to 5. I'm actually pursuing something that I really want to pursue, which isn't the case for a lot of people, especially at our young age. So very thankful for Justus's hard work and setting us up to be in a good position to where like I can go down a path that I'm passionate about. But anyways, so I definitely have time to sleep. So sometimes when Justus is working really late at night, I do try to stay up because we just haven't really gotten the chance to talk at all that day. And like quality time is important to us. So I definitely try to stay up. We try to talk a little bit after work, but you're kind of fried. I'm exhausted. So I do try to go to bed anywhere between like 9 and 10, especially if I'm teaching the next day, whatever, waking up early. And then I also have been waking up earlier in the day, to work out, but we'll talk about that later. So sleep, very important. Quiet time, just like Justus said, I love to start my day off with it. So I can do it anywhere in the mornings. Like that really doesn't matter what time. Like I'm not a stickler about time. I just know that it's either going to be the first thing I do, or if I'm going to like a workout class or teaching, it'll be the second thing I do during the day. Yep. And then obviously work. I go to work every day. So no, definitely doing that.
And you had mentioned the point about sleep, and I think in that needs category, this is something that we try to be a little bit more flexible with. So we know that sleep is important. We've done whole podcast episodes about the importance of sleep. Yes. We try to get it, but obviously there are things that we want to try to do in our day that requires us to potentially get up early. So that's where we kind of give a little bit, is in the morning. So
I don't know if I'd say we.
You definitely do. I think because you
really.
I'm going to give you credit. She gets up at 6:30. She gets up at 6 a.m. because I typically get up around 5 on Mondays. Mm-hmm. I do like my quiet time. I read, and then I come and get her, and then she goes to the gym with me at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah. So I will give her. You do get up early when you don't need to.
But I'm able to go to bed earlier. Yeah. Which is why I'm able to do that and feel good.
Exactly. So I think though the getting up early is definitely a huge unlock for the needs that you want to do in your life, just because you're not gonna, for the most part, you're not interrupted by work. Usually it's on the latter half of like later in the day, you have a higher likelihood of like, working later in the night, but waking up early in the morning. And I will say this, even if you're not a morning person, I would just try it, because I was not a morning person.
How long do you think you need to give it?
Give it a month.
Yeah.
I would say give it a month.
30 days to build a habit.
I would say give it a month of building that habit, and I promise you're going to wake up. I love having a little mini day before my full day. Yeah. Because it makes me feel like I've accomplished so much before I even started working.
And you're not trapped at like your desk all day. You're like, okay, I've left home and I've gone out and I've seen how it feels outside and all of that stuff.
So I would say waking up early is a huge thing that we've done in order to help us like achieve the needs that we need to do during our day. I would also
like the
say
key, honestly. I would say that's the key.
Yeah, no,
is having a day before your work day starts. That's the key.
Yeah. and then also making the decision either the night before, even the week before, of what time you will get up and like planning out your week. It's a lot easier to make excuses or to say like, oh, like I can just sleep in a little bit more like the day of or even the night before. I would say like as early as the week before, of like planning out your days of saying, this is when I'm going to get up. This is when I'm going to go to bed to if I can help it, in order to kind of set me up for success for the rest of the day and the rest of the week.
For sure. And I think going back to the morning person thing, always having something that kind of excites you in the morning. Like for Justus, it's working out. It's maybe taking pre-workout. Maybe it's your rice cake. You say you look forward to that.
I do. Morning. I look forward. If you ever want a good pre-workout snack, you take a rice cake, you put some almond butter on there, and then you drizzle some honey.
It's so good. We had one this morning. It's amazing. Yeah. So for you, it's all of those things. For me, it's my morning cup of coffee. Like I just get so excited before I go to bed to wake up for my morning cup of coffee. And so I think that definitely helps. So starting your day early, I know late night owls and like non-morning people don't want to hear that, but truly if you want to accomplish the most that you're capable of accomplishing, wake up early.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. So, that is kind of how we plan around doing our needs. Now, let's move on to the shoulds. So this is kind of like the bulk of how we fill up our week.
Yes.
The shoulds are things that are beneficial for you that you should add to your routine, but are things that aren't absolutely vital for the day to day.
You're not going to die if you don't do it.
Exactly. We stress the importance of exercise. We stress the importance of a bunch of other things. But at the end of the day, if you skip an exercise, you're not going to die that day.
Right.
So these are the things that you should do that will be beneficial for your body. So for us, it's exercise.
Yes.
It's food as well, but from the perspective of healthy cooking, healthy meal prepping, healthy planning of food.
Because it takes so much time.
Because it takes a lot of time, and we'll go into that in a little bit. And then also the third point is quality time with your significant other or important people in your life. That is a very, I wouldn't say underrated, but people tend to put that by the wayside and think of it as a want, like I want to be able to do this, or I'd like to be able to hang out with someone or talk to someone. We put it in the category of should, because we feel like as humans, we're made for connection. God made us that way. So we feel like that is just as important as anything else that you should be doing.
A little marriage tip, like your dating is not supposed to end once you get married. Like you're always supposed to date. You're always supposed to spend quality time with one another. And so it's funny. All of these things could be debated to be in another category, but it's truly what's important to you. And so, we agree that all of these things are things that you should be doing, which is incredible. Yeah. So for you, what does that look like?
So for me, as I mentioned before, I probably have anywhere between 5 or 6 hours a day to do the shoulds and the wants. So for exercise, I work out anywhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours a day, whether that's running, lifting, or both.
Yeah, big runner guy.
I know. I just started running.
You are.
If you want to understand a little bit more about kind of the difference between, running and lifting and how to incorporate the two, watch our hybrid training podcast.
So you have like 1.5 to 2 hours of exercise.
So I have like 1.5 to 2 hour exercise in the morning. So I typically do my exercise in the morning because it helps me get it out of the way. I say that because I do enjoy it, but it's also a lot easier to make excuses later in the day. Things come up, work things come up, things in our relationship come up. So it's like, if I do that in the morning,
in our relationship, what does that mean?
I mean, like if we're planning like something, like a dinner, or like just wanting to spend time with you.
No, it just sounded funny. Things in our relationship. What does that mean? We're fighting? No.
No, not at all. We never fight.
We're perfect.
Yeah. But I find that if I have free time in the afternoon, I'm not wanting to like go to the gym as much as I am in the morning, just because after working for so long. So doing it early allows me to make no excuses. On the weekends, I'm a lot more free, but I still try to do it in the morning just to stick to habit, stick to routine, to make sure that I'm not like kind of going out of sync just for those 2 days.
It really is the mindset of like, get out of the way, because it's the easiest way to explain it. But truthfully, it's more about feeling like you've accomplished so much. Yeah. Like, oh, it's 10 a.m. Well, I've already worked out today. Like I've already been up for hours, did my own thing, did all the things that make me happy. And then I can continue on with my day. Like you just feel so productive. Yeah. So we say get it out of the way, but like truly we enjoy every second of it. So it's more like, oh, we're just being productive.
No, yeah, exactly.
Which we love.
No, yeah. And like you said, even I do it on the weekends. I don't go as early. I don't go at like 5:30 or 6 in the morning. We go to like at like 7 or 8, but still I do it in the morning just because to stay in that routine. But yeah, I've even switched my off days. So I used to do an off day on Wednesday, and then I realized that I had, or I used to do an off day on the weekends on Sunday. Sunday would be my off day.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I had a lot more time on the weekend. Right. So like, I was like, okay, I need to take a rest day on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Have I actually made it a rest day?
Literally, no. You don't have a rest day anymore. You're going against everything we talk about.
But I'm trying to, like, all to say is that I try to shift my schedule and move everything around to where I can make things work, and knowing when I have free gaps in my schedule, taking advantage of that to do the shoulds. So I know that I'm a little bit more free on the weekend. So I switch my off day to be during the week when I know that I'm not as free.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for you. So what does exercise look like for you?
So exercise for me, I used to not always get up with Justus in the mornings to work out. Like up until like a month or so ago, I wasn't getting up with you.
You definitely do it now because you teach sometimes in the morning, and then also you go to work sometimes in the morning. When you didn't have a job, it was like...
I'm even talking about recently.
Oh.
Like, haven't you noticed that, like, I literally go to the gym with you every Monday and Friday for sure. Wednesdays I'm teaching. Tuesdays my off day. Thursday we run.
Yeah.
In case you guys were wondering. But so yeah, I mean, I'm up every single morning, like Justus said, at 6 a.m. for a variety of reasons. But I've also found that because Monday, like I could sleep in, that's so nice. I don't have to teach until noon. And on Fridays, I don't have to teach until noon. So like there's technically no reason I have to get up that early. But truthfully, going back to the spending quality time, which I'll hit more on later, I find that like that 10-minute car ride with you is like quality time that I wouldn't have gotten if I didn't wake up. Or the longer conversation over breakfast because I got up early with you and we can like talk about whatever. Like I just truly enjoy that time with you. So I'm like, why not be productive, get up earlier, stick to my routine, and get quality time with you? So it's kind of like one and the same for me, which is really fun. I definitely work out for a shorter amount of time than you do. So like I'll just walk on the treadmill if I have to. Like we don't even really work out together anymore. Justus has friends he works out with. He ditched me, but
I do not ditch you. I try to get her to do our workouts and she's like, no,
because all y'all do is hit chest. All and right. I can't.
That's not true.
It is true. And it's also, so for exercise, my job is like kind of to exercise. Well, I'm a fitness instructor. So it's kind of hard to differentiate the time that I need to spend on my own sequencing versus the time I need to spend in the gym for myself. I've definitely had to work on dividing the two. Like I try to not combine them when I'm at the gym because I want my gym time to be for myself. It's something that I should do. It's something that I want to do. It's something that I need to do, honestly. And then sequencing just needs to be completely separate. And like, I do see that as work. So like, I'll do that later in the day. But yeah, that's what exercise looks like for me.
Awesome. So hitting on the second point, the healthy eating, you know, as we said, food is a need, like you need to eat throughout your day, but there's always a simple answer of just getting, you know, something quick from the store, even going out, getting takeout for lunch or for dinner.
The amount of people that I know that literally grab a bar on their way out to work. I'm like, how are you not starving?
I will say that like breakfast is super important, and a lot of people I know don't eat breakfast, but it helps fuel you and gives you energy for like your day. And I think part of that maybe is because we work out in the morning, so we need that desire. We need to refuel our body. But I'm telling you, you don't get if you have like a solid breakfast, not eating the cereals, sugary cereals and stuff like that, but actually having a more balanced, like protein heavy, vitamin, nutrient heavy breakfast, it'll help sustain your energy throughout the day.
Yes.
Sidebar. Anyway,
we're passionate about our breakfast.
But yeah, it's a simple answer to, you know, just get takeout and kind of do the quick, easy thing. But we like to control the food that we put into our bodies. And I know that like all takeout isn't terrible and bad for you, but if you get to understand a little bit around like the oils that are used, the butters that they use and certain things, it's always easier to cook from home in terms of eating a healthier lifestyle because you're the ones who put it together.
Yeah. Like, so you know what oils, you know what you're cooking it in, you know what it's been around, you know that it's clean, you just know.
So you can control it. Exactly. Yeah. You just know. So, that being said, healthy kind of meal prepping and grocery store shopping, it takes time, and that's something that we really try to prioritize.
We do. Like we always talk at some point during the week, okay, are we going to Costco Saturday? Do you have time on Friday that we can go? Because going to a Costco on Saturday is rough.
Oh my gosh.
It's so rough, but
so annoying.
So we go grocery shopping. I either go like get little things during the week that we need, and then we go to either Whole Foods, Costco, Trader Joe's, wherever we're going that week. We always go. It's a priority for us. We try to go earlier in the morning on the weekends, but Sunday is when you always meal prep because you work for the week, and like I don't have I don't have to meal prep because I can come home around my teaching schedule and make food. And thankfully we already have the groceries for it, but you meal prep and like, that's a choice. You take an hour to 2 out of your Sunday.
Like 2 hours. And I used to be pretty creative with it. Now it's gotten pretty simple, but even then, even if you just start simple, like I would say for me, it's like quinoa and with like ground turkey or ground beef.
Yes.
With like maybe a vegetable.
Yes.
And then you like kind of switch it up. You do one with like quinoa and ground beef, another one quinoa and turkey, quinoa and chicken. Like you can mix up, you could have the same base, like you could have the same base of quinoa and you just put different proteins with it.
Yeah.
Or you can have the same base
sauces.
of protein with like different either carbs like vegetables, and then you do different sauces, and you can really mix it up and have variety while still maintaining and having that healthy balance. But it definitely does take time. I make like 5 or 6 meals at any given time when I'm meal prepping, and it's definitely really tough.
But it's so worth it because you talk about all the time when you're in the office, like people truly just what's that? DoorDash? They just DoorDash
like Uber Eats or DoorDash, and it's
sandwich
super easy.
Or a salad or something random, and you're just like, I'm so glad that I took the time out of my weekend to do that because it's important to you. It's very important. If you know us, you know that what we put into our body is very important. So I think that one's great.
So I'd very much encourage to even just try it for like a week or two and just see how it is. I mean, I think throughout the week, you'll definitely thank yourself. And I think, you put the time in earlier on and you'll see the benefits later.
100%. Yeah. So quality time with significant other, family, friends, all this stuff.
Yes. This one is hard. Because that's something that it's not like a tangible thing that you need to do. It's not like something that
like a timed thing.
Yeah, it's not a timed thing that like I just need to get through this. You don't want to just get through like having a conversation with somebody and it's not quality time. So what that looks like for us, and it looks different for both of us, but I'll give you an example for what that looks like for me. So quality time I'll start with friends here. As Camryn said, I try to do the quality time piece and I try to mix it with my workouts now. And I honestly think that is partly why it's worked out so well too, because I before it was literally just me working out by myself in the mornings.
But you also loved that. You loved being.
I did.
It was your it was your time.
And I don't do it. I don't work out with friends every single day. But like I try to like 2 to 3 times a week, like work out with friends because you get that quality time. You get to talk and you get to like catch up and you still get to do your shoulds of like the exercise as well as having the quality time. So that's how I kind of split it up with friends here. In terms of friends and family elsewhere, if you guys don't know, Camryn and I are in Dallas right now, but our families live in Charlotte, so we don't get to see them that often.
And most of our friends.
And most of our friends. So what I try to do is call either in the mornings, like on my way to work, or I call coming back from work. And that's like a great 20 to 30 minutes of uninterrupted time of being able to talk to either catch up with my mom and my dad or even my friends.
Yeah.
In terms of quality time with you,
yes,
just you. I think the biggest thing there is having that hour between working out and then going to work. This is something that we kind of set as a precedent early on of like making sure that we do that because it's important to jumpstart your day with each other, especially for your marriage and stuff, to have that time together. So we take an hour out of the day. We try to do an hour. It doesn't always work out as an hour, but we catch up.
Depends on how long you're at the gym talking and talking.
Well, we catch up. We talk about the day that we have. We talk about what we've been reading in the Bible. We just talk. We sit down, eat breakfast together, and it's uninterrupted time together. Have fun. So that is kind of how I split up my day in terms of like prioritizing. Relationships. Yeah,
that's great. I mean, obviously I would say the same for our relationship. And then like I mentioned before, like I will try to stay up later at night if I don't have to be up early in the morning, or like I'm not teaching early in the morning. I will try to stay up with you, have like quality conversation, like while we're falling asleep or like while we're getting ready for bed. Like I do love that time, even though I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that like enjoys it because I'm just talking his ear off the whole time. Because if you think about it, like you're the person that I want to tell everything to.
Yeah.
And I have so much to tell you from the whole day. So I just talk his ear off, poor thing. But yeah, the car rides to the gym with Justus, the 1 hour that we have in the mornings, and then any time that we have at night is always great. So I always try to do a walk a day. And during that walk, I always call my mom. And if my mom doesn't answer, I'll call a friend, like one of my long distance friends, either from Auburn, from Charlotte, wherever. So that's like a great way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Cause like, even if I worked out that day, I still love a good walk. Like I love being outside, get some sun, like Justus said, killing two birds with one stone. You know, that's habit stacking, people.
Yeah.
Everybody should take some notes because that's the best thing to do. And then also I will definitely like, if I'm not outside walking and I want to hop on the phone, like I'll be cleaning around here, I'll be making food, I'll be doing whatever. And I can just hop on the phone with some people. So I try to take like an hour, 30 to an hour out of my day to like talk to people, like definitely calling my mom once a day. And then I try to call at least 2 friends during the week, but sometimes it's really hard. I don't know why, but sometimes it is. And then I will also try to see a group of friends during the week that live in Dallas. So like maintaining relationships here as well as ones that are long distance. Like I will grab coffee, grab lunch, go on a walk, hang out here at night, watch a movie, like really anything. I just know that humans are not meant to be alone. And thankfully, like we have good friends, we have good relationships here that we want to continue to foster those relationships. So that is kind of what my shoulds look like.
Yeah. And then to briefly touch on our wants. So wants are things that we aspire to do, things that we just like to do to enjoy. So that's like hobbies. So for us, it's podcasting, doing our podcast, like pickleball, playing around with business ideas, certain things that we're trying to like develop and do, thinking about our future, traveling, reading, Camryn, tanning.
I wrote down reading and tanning and I was like, is he going to read that out loud? Yeah, those are for me.
Yeah.
Those are for me.
Yeah, I love to tan, in case you couldn't tell.
You will lay out with me.
Yeah, but not all
Quality
the time.
time, babe.
Quality time.
No, not all the time.
But yeah, so after all the shoulds and the needs, honestly, that leaves us such a short amount of time for the wants.
I would say the weekends are for the wants.
Yeah, no, that and truthfully, that's why we prioritize the weekends for the wants, because we know that we should do the shoulds and the needs during the week so that we can make time for the wants on the weekend. And I think that's a good way. And we've done a great job of doing that in terms of like being able to say like, okay, since we've done all the things that we need to do during the week, we're able to prioritize the wants during the weekend.
Yes.
Sometimes we try to do 1 to 2 things during the week that are wants, but for the most part, we really try to like stick to that structure. Yeah. And I think it's worked out very, very well.
For sure. Yeah, that's great. So for me, I definitely have a lot more free time during the week, as you guys have known. So I try to get my wants, quote unquote, out of the way during the week because I can. So like, I really enjoy YouTube. I love vlogging. I love editing videos, workout videos, all that good stuff. I really try to do that during the week so that on the weekends we can make time for hobbies that we both enjoy, like pickleball or podcasting or new business ideas. So I really do try to do all my tanning, my reading, and my vlogging, editing, all of that good stuff for the week because I thankfully am blessed to have the time to do that. So overall, on the weekends, it's time for both of our wants. And there are times when over the weekend, Justus is like, I want to go do this. And like, I don't necessarily want to do it. And like, we'll be separate and it's fine because we have all weekend to be together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. I think overall, doing this exercise, and honestly, this was helpful for us of doing the exercise of what are the things that we need to do? What are the things that we should do? And what are the things we want to do?
Yeah.
Splitting them into 3 categories and just being intentional and having a plan to attack your week, to attack your day, to attack your month.
Yeah.
It really helps you and it sets you up for success because you just have that structure and something to an anchor to lean in on and while you're kind of going through your day and making sure like, no, these are the things that I need to hit. And then when you come out on the other side, you just feel so accomplished.
100%.
I know after like a long week of like all the stuff that we have to do, it's like a lot in the moment. When we look back, it's like, wow, we've done so much.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see the growth and maturity that we've had through doing those things.
Yeah. And I think the cool thing is that it's never too much. Like people may see us from an outside perspective and be like, they're always going, like they need to calm down. They need to like breathe. And I feel like we do that. Like our Sunday afternoons.
And we take time. Yeah. Our Sunday afternoons, we take time to relax. We take time together.
Saturday we slept in. Like it's just the way, like we definitely don't kill ourselves with things that we love to do. Yeah. Like we definitely prioritize our health and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. This was a great episode. Hope it helped you guys try and do that little exercise and see what's important to you.
Yeah. And we will see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.